Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oops, Bad Movie. This is our very first episode where we take a movie that is probably supposed to be good and kind of rip it apart. For the first episode, we're doing the 1995 hit Congo. And with me today, I've got Krystin and Leigh.
Hello.
And I'm Ryan. So yeah, Congo. This came out in 95, right in the middle of the 90s, and kind of encapsulates a lot of what that decade produced in terms of movies. Starring... I forget who the main scientist was.
Some dude.
Dylan Walsh. And
nevertheless, some dude.
Yeah, nevertheless, some dude. His
I knew about Nip Tuck, and that's how I knew him. Plus, he was a kid actor too.
Yeah, it's got a wonderful performance by Tim Curry, Oscar level. Ernie Hudson, who I think pretty much steals this show. I think he is excellent in this movie, and it could just be because everyone else is so bad. Everything else around it is so bad.
Is it worth noting there's a few people there that are actually well-respected actors that go by uncredited, and it makes you wonder why? Because you've got Joe Pantoliano that turns up at some point, and then you've got Delroy Lindo, and their name is not on the movie in any of the credits. Yeah, I think they was like, nope.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Joe Pantoliano has almost like a cameo level role in this.
Yeah,
he's in it for all of 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, you will not be moving on them on those credits at all.
Yeah.
I said, no, please, don't. I don't need my name there.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like, excuse me, I just saw the final cut, and I have a couple of changes I'd like you to make. For instance, my name.
I like to think that Delroy Lindo was in the viewing booth, cutting his name off the credits.
Yeah,
as it was being filmed, as it was being shot on the premiere.
Yeah, you have a gorilla jumping out and cutting his name off of the realm. So this movie, based on a Michael Crichton book, this came out 2 years after Jurassic Park, another very famous Michael Crichton adaptation, and you definitely get the feeling that they're leaning into that with the production of the promotion of the movie. In fact, if you go back and watch some of the trailers, they're saying from the writer of Jurassic Park. And even the some of the setup is a little bit similar too, in which you have these animals that kind of run amok and attack people, I guess, is kind of what. But honestly, you watch 3/4 of this movie, and you don't have any of that. Nothing happens in this movie. I mean, not nothing happens, but nothing happens related to the plot, the main plot, until the very end of the movie, which is a spectacular end, by the way.
That it is.
And the rest of it is more of just a very boilerplate representation of Central Africa. You get everything. You get political upheaval. You get hidden tribes in the rainforest. You get wildlife. You get no-fly zone. People using shoulder-mounted rockets to shoot down planes. It's really just a fantastic representation of what we thought of Central Africa in the 90s. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do we want to talk about first here? So let's talk about our relationship with this movie, because I think we have some stories to tell. Well, Kristen, this is the first time you've seen it.
I have no relationship to this movie.
Right. Well, you do
until
now.
You said it. Until
Yeah.
you said, "Hey, let's watch this movie," and I said, "Okay, I've never seen this movie before," and now I know why.
Yep. It's a.
I was 19 when this movie came out, and I lived half my life not watching this movie, and I could have gone my whole entire life without watching this movie.
It was inevitable. The Congo.
Yeah, it happens to all of us at some point.
The Congo comes for us all eventually.
Congo is.
Yeah.
That's what the tagline should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. So me, on the other hand, this was one of those movies that for some reason spent a whole lot of time in the VCR when I was, I don't know, probably like 7, 8, 9, that age where you're kind of either playing video games or you're watching the same movie over and over on the VHS player. Yeah, so I remember watching this a lot, and back then obviously not realizing how ridiculous it is. But then as I got older and thought back to it, like actually replayed it in my head, I obviously realized how like ridiculous so much of this movie is. But yeah, it's interesting to, like, I haven't actually watched it in years until I rewatched it for this to do this podcast. So it was interesting going back, and I remembered a lot of it. I remembered a lot of the main things that went on. Some of the details I didn't. For some reason, I totally blanked on the plane scene where they're parachuting out of the plane, but the river scene for some reason stood out to me. Like, that's something I remember. And of course, the laser beam at the end is impossible to forget. Yeah. So yeah, it was just interesting going back, and I still think the movie has a couple of good merits. Like, there's a couple of scenes that I think are actually well shot and well executed, and like I said, I think like Ernie Hudson turns in a great performance, and a couple of others, like Joe Pantoliano's quick cameo there is actually pretty good. He does his job pretty well there. But yeah, that's pretty much my history with this movie. Leigh, you were the one that recommended it, so I want to know why this one, out of all of the movies, like you had this. I was like, hey, do you have any recommendations? And then, like, not even a second later, how about Congo?
And now you understand why, though.
Well, yeah, no.
I
mean, there was no argument. I was like, yeah, we'll do Congo.
Thing is, there's levels. I've got others I could have gone in, but I felt like I had to go in entry level.
Yeah.
This is very easy in. I've got some stinkers coming. Boy. Now, I saw this when it came out, and I knew what it was then. I pretty much feel the same way as I did about it then, now.
Mm-hmm.
It's as silly as I ever thought it was, but as I've gone with it, I've seen how many kind of major screw-ups and pratfalls that the people that have made it have done. So it's as silly as it ever was, but now it's even more baffling how they got away with doing some of the things they did with a lot of money. So now I just find it a baffling movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just odd now. It's kind of, I just don't get it. That's what most I can take from it. I don't get this movie.
Yeah, I don't understand where it kind of fell apart. Like, it seems like you have an okay cast. Like, it's not great, but it's okay, and you have a book to base it on, which is a good starting point.
Well, the director is Frank Marshall, and he's
Yeah.
a very famous producer,
Yeah.
but a not very prolific director. He's made, I think he made 2 movies. One is Arachnophobia,
Yep.
which works on every single level.
Yep.
And Arachnophobia is legitimately a great movie. This is like it's not even made by the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what happened?
It's a mystery.
It is. It is quite the mystery. So, I mean, I know one thing that happened, and Tim Curry showed up on set and apparently didn't get the notes about who he was supposed to play beforehand. And they said, yeah, you're a Romanian. And he's like, oh, okay. And then tried to do his worst impression of a Romanian that he could.
Well, this is from his iffy era, isn't it?
His what?
This is from the...
Very surprised that he just didn't go for the Transylvanian part of that, where he would just say to Laura Linney, I'm going to suck your blood. Because that would have made it.
Yeah, it's like he didn't go hard enough. Like he half played this kind of menacing villain, but pulled back too much. You know, like he had the setup for like the evil genius or whatever, the evil doctor or scientist, and then he just pulled back from it, and it ended up being a very not great and kind of like boring performance that is more of just a joke because it's so bad. But yeah, it's watching the whole thing, and every time he came on screen and talked, it was just like, man, what is he doing? That's Tim Curry. He can, even if he just did his normal voice, it would have been better.
That's it. It's the great. We all love Tim Curry, but this is a long way from Rocky Horror and even Clue. Tim Curry. This is the iffy area where he was doing stuff like The Shadow, and he was hamming it in all the wrong ways. And it's just like, is he bored? Is he done with it? I don't understand. Is he done with this sticky roles? Because it is a sticky role.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know. He seems a little bored.
Yeah.
He does a good spit take though. He does a good, nice rolling of sesame seed off the tongue. So I'll give him that.
Spitting out in his hand. Okay, I'll stop eating it.
Yeah, I mean that kind of encapsulates the performance, right? Where this random character that you don't like. I don't know. I don't think that that general there was a very prolific actor or anything like that, was he?
Yeah, Delroy Lindo is a very good. Yeah, he's quite a good theatrical actor.
Okay,
yeah, he did a few roles.
Okay, I didn't recognize him, but I mean, he totally steals that scene. Like,
yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah. So, so that was, the Tim Curry. Can't believe he's in this, but yet here we are. What was your reaction, Krystin, when you found out that Tim Curry was in this movie?
When I found out that he was in this movie, I'm like, it's got to be good. It's Tim Curry.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I've been a huge Tim Curry fan from Rocky Horror, which I have watched every single year forever, to my very favorite is Annie. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see him in Annie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. I loved him in that one. And then I saw this and I went, ugh.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, though, his appearance was after the gorilla talked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you know that, yeah. This is the thing about this movie. Aside from Ernie Hudson, everybody in this movie has a look of, you can see it in their eyes, there's a look of fear on their eyes of, oh no. Oh no, I'm in Congo.
Yeah.
And you could sort of see it, especially people like Laura Linney. It's like, help me.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Just keep going. I've got something lined up after we've made this movie.
I woke up and I'm in Congo.
Somebody gave him the banana with the dope in.
Yeah, somebody gave me the banana with the dope inside. Oh man,
They woke
yeah.
up on a cargo plane. That's actually a real scene. That's from the documentary. It's not
Yeah.
from the movie. That's went up on the net. They've been drugged into the movie.
Yeah.
And can I just say the relationship between Dylan Walsh and the monkey was
Gorilla, please.
gorilla.
Really please.
Yeah.
Gorilla.
Yeah.
The gorilla. It was a little creepy.
Yeah. No, that was so I really like the character of Amy.
I'm not having it. I'm not standing for it.
No, all right,
No.
whatever. All
No,
right.
no, carry on.
No, I think they handle that weirdly well. Like, try to have emotional connection to the gorilla, like especially near the end where she's getting rejected and then she finds the family that will accept her.
Are you feeling okay, Ryan?
No, this is true. I think it's great. This is
Okay.
it's like a Disney ending, like, oh, she found the family that accepts her.
All right. So I do have to admit, I may have teared up.
See,
And-
Leigh, you're the problem here.
Because you realise you just waited an hour and a half of your life watching Congo. That's why what I could have been doing. Oh God.
Oh, you're so happy because it's over.
I think that might be what it is.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, like, up until that, well, it's not completely true, but up until the gorilla talks, it's kind of just got a pretty standard, like, action movie, adventure movie setup, You've got Bruce Campbell over there in Africa, and, it's a setup. I guess you could call it that. It's not a great setup, but it is a setup, and that's the only time that you really see like what the end of this movie is going to be. These gorillas, these evil gorillas,
The horror
the
aspect of it.
Yeah, the laser. Like, they show the laser in like the first 10 minutes and don't show it again until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or even reference it.
It's almost like they were like how can we end this movie? Oh yeah, remember the laser at the beginning? let's have that be something that happens at the end. Last day on set, they come up, they do that rewrite, and Laura Linney's got a friggin' laser gun.
Which she went from whiny to badass at that moment, though.
Yeah. Well, she was always kind of resourceful.
So while we're talking briefly about Bruce Campbell,
Yes.
the great Bruce Campbell, I love Bruce Campbell. I've read his autobiography, and it says in there he was originally hired to play the doctor, the scientist.
The lead, yeah.
He was meant to be the lead, but the producers didn't want him. How much of a better movie this would be, being exactly the same as it is now, with somebody as hammy as Bruce Campbell being the star instead of whatever this guy's doing.
Oh my gosh.
I agree for them could have been.
Yeah.
I could have totally leaned into it.
Yeah.
See, that would have been a better movie.
It would have been a better movie, but I could see where they were going with it, because it would have been too much focus on him.
Yeah. I guess.
And
Like
maybe
I think the scientist guy was supposed to be a little like Bruce Campbell, especially then, was like handsome, He was funny and he was handsome, right? And I don't think that's probably what they ended up wanting for the goofy scientist, right?
Want something more nerdish, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
imagine Bruce Campbell falling in love with the gorilla.
That's my problem. I see that completely. I want that movie.
Yeah. Well, and then all of a sudden, and then also they had pretty much the same character with Monroe. The kind
Monroe.
of
Yeah, they are quite similar, I guess. I could see him doing that role as much. Yeah.
yeah. So I could see I could see their thought process on why they didn't go with Bruce Campbell as the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, they made the wrong choice ultimately,
Yeah.
but I can see where they get there.
Yeah.
It's just, another in the series of bad choices they made. Like the
gorilla performances.
Like the gorilla performances, yeah.
It's so bad. So unconvincingly bad. I don't think I've ever seen a film where I've seen people in look like they're trying to be. It feels like kind of people kind of very amateur dramatically trying to do monkey performance. And it's kind of very, very clearly people in, especially Amy. Amy just looks like a very small woman in a suit. Mm-hmm. And doesn't really look like a monkey very much. I don't understand, right? Now, I'm a kid of the...
Gorilla.
It's a gorilla.
Gorilla.
Please.
Now, I remember Battlestar Galactica from the 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. That had a gorilla in a robot robot dog suit, so they could play a robot dog. Why couldn't they put a backpack onto a gorilla to do the same thing and save a lot of money and time? It's like, I don't get it. It's just like, just get a gorilla in to do it. You can get performing gorillas. It's fine. It's fine.
Gorillas are smart.
Do that. It's not particularly convincing sign language she does, so it's not like they need some accurate hand action.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the gorillas had a meeting and they said, "No, I am not going to be part of this movie." Yeah. And they were.
I refuse to drink a martini.
Yeah.
And smoke a cigar from Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's like,
God.
Listen, I'm sick of the negative portrayal of gorillas in the media. They're always drunk and smoking, so we're not doing this.
The gorilla union decided no.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
The martini, and then it's like that's probably the most ridiculous thing in the movie because it is the most ridiculous, out of place burp. Like it's like, I don't even know. It's like the Wilhelm scream of burps.
Yeah. Stop audio cue.
Yeah, it's like last minute editing. Oh, we need a burp. And then they go to this like cartoon vault. They're like, okay, here we go. This is the burp. And it's just the most off the wall, like, I don't even know.
Yeah. So can we go to the jungle really quick, because the one thing that we cannot ever skip over, and I'm going to put a hashtag to it, hashtag penis leech.
Hashtag penis leech. That was the tagline of the movie.
Now, I've seen this movie several times. I must have blocked this out. It must have traumatized me. I don't remember a penis leech.
That's the thing. I didn't remember it either until it happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Penis leech.
Penis leech of the... See, it's like penis leech of the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Here I'm Robin Leach, and here is penis leeches of the rich and famous.
All lined up behind glass.
Yeah.
This has not reminded me of anything. I must have literally just traumatized myself into it and just blocked it out.
Yeah.
Penis leech?
Really? Dylan Walsh coming out.
Well, don't remind me. It sounds like he's better off forgetting it.
Wait, you're really not remembering it?
No, I blocked it out. I legitimately don't remember this.
He comes
yes,
out
I
of
do,
his...
and he asks him to burn it off.
Yeah.
With the cigar.
And then he gives him the cigar back, and he's like, yeah, penis
Thank
cigar.
You. Thanks very much.
Penis
Now I've
leech
been reminded.
And you will be scarred for life because, frankly, you're the one who made us watch this. And if we are going to have nightmares about penis leeches, so are you.
So it's just desserts. I see. This is the way it's going to be, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
This is
Okay.
listen, Congo justice is severe.
That's right. So, booyah.
I think it's so great that when they land in the Congo at the airfield, that car blows up. And it's just a car in the middle of the airport. And apparently it was the president of the Congo's car. It's just sitting there in the middle. It's like, it looks like they just got this husk from the junkyard and threw it in the middle of a tarmac and then lit it on fire. And it's like, yeah, that was the president's car of the Congo. And it's like, it looks like it was like they just came off Mythbusters set or something.
Yeah, it was a little random.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
That whole, to me, that whole political thing just, it went on too much. And then you were going, okay, it's.
Yeah,
It's just shoe leather. It really is just like narrative shoe leather. Just trying to stretch it out so you get
Yeah. Well, there
Doesn't
has
need
to be the thing that puts the group in on the opposite end, right?
somebody has to fire the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
is what you're trying to say.
that's what I'm trying to say. Somebody has to shoot a rocket. But no, it's just like, it's so like cliche, right? Like,
Yeah.
These Americans were able to navigate this incredibly horrible civil war and war-torn country by just paying their way through it, because they could just put stacks of money on the table and that gets them, past all of the mercenaries and the genocidal maniacs. Like, they're like, oh, we just let them go because they paid some general guy, and we're good to go. Yeah, then of course then that leads to the plane scene where like, didn't need to happen. I don't think. I don't think it needed to happen. I do like the camera work, the cinematography on them parachuting down. That was like kind of out of place for the movie. Like, I feel like they spent a lot of their budget there, like making sure. That was
the trailer shot. Sort of thing.
Yeah, that was a trailer shot kind of thing. Because there's really, except for a couple of like scenery shots, there isn't a whole lot of wide shots in this movie. It's a lot of close-up kind of claustrophobic stuff. Probably because they weren't actually shooting in the Congo. But
what do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean they went to the jungle?
Yeah. You mean they didn't go into a Civil War combat zone? And
doesn't look like a set at all. It's fantastic setting.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that scene with them parachuting down was, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. And then the rest of the movie happens around it. So
I guess they can't do 2 hours of them parachuting.
No, I guess not.
And we got the hippo sequence as well.
Yeah, the hippo sequence.
Which I think very much looks like when you see footage of, like, when you go to Universal Studios and you go to those kind of like King Kong type things, and it feels like that. The hippo feels very fake, and it feels like you're watching somebody on a ride.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very well as a scene.
No, and I don't understand why they had to have that at all. Again.
Well, I mean, they needed yet another roadblock, right? They distinctly chose to leave the murder gorillas to the very end, so they needed all of these like roadblocks and to just like double down on the Africa's wild, man, right? You could just die out there.
Now, before we
The
go
fucking
too
hippos.
before we
They're
go
out to
past,
get you. They're hungry.
hungry. Oh, don't say hungry.
The hippos, they're hungry.
Oh, God. So before we go too far, I want to rewind just a little bit, because when they're it was when Dylan Walsh was comforting Amy and started singing California Dreamin'.
Yeah.
Apparently it's an African song that everybody knows.
Of course.
The 60s, the mamas and the papas were very popular in Africa. Who knew?
Yeah, that's you know. Well, I mean that's actually, that may be kind of accurate. A lot of that kind of stuff does, like, you know, it's very much like, oh, the American music, you know, let's listen to it. So
Beach Boys.
yeah, beach
sort of thing.
The Beach Boys.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the mamas and the papas.
Yeah, that's probably
A stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't
California
that
Dreamin'.
popular.
California Dreamin', I think, was a pretty popular song. I don't know. It's one of those things that it's like, is this an accurate representation, or is it racist? Which is, there's a lot of those questions in this movie.
I don't know. I have to see more of Zinj, to be honest with you, to let you know about that.
That's the sequel, Zinj.
Fucking Zinj. Oh dear Lord.
All right. So let's get to this ending. Speaking of Zinj,
Can we not talk about the laser banks first?
laser what?
The cheapest, the laser kind of entrapment when they're in the jungle and they're trying to stop things coming towards them. So they've got the laser.
Oh yeah, that's
the blue lasers set up.
that's after they get to Zinj. They get to Zinj and they have the first attack, and then they set up all that equipment that they had apparently been carrying this whole time in these yellow crates. Like, they lost their plane, they lost their boats, and they're still making people carry all of this stuff. And all of a sudden they have this like state-of-the-art fortress in the middle of the jungle with motion sensors and some weird laser beams that hurt things. I don't know.
That's only good for one go around as well. You got one shot to use this stuff, and it's just fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
never seen it again.
Totally.
Which means that that really is a cheap company, and Joe Don is cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, he's got to buy a new golf club.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He busted the TV.
Temper tantrum.
It's got screens to smash.
It was his temper tantrums. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just another example of somebody on set that's like, what the hell am I doing here?
So he took it out on the monitors. That was not him acting. That was him going, I'm in Congo!
That was him. Yeah, get me out of here!
I'm firing my agent!
Will somebody please get the fire extinguisher? And shoot it into my face.
Yeah.
So they get to this. They get to Zinj, and Tim Curry gives the way he says Zinj is so good. Like, I think I need that as my ringtone. Just him going, Zinj.
I need my ringtone to say all the rumors were absolutely true.
Yes, I had that
That's
in my
why.
notes. Absolutely true. I love that because
That's
that's
like got a mouthful of marbles.
yes. I'm
Zinj.
glad you brought that up too.
Oh.
Oh my god! And really, that eye that he kept describing, like, really, is there only one eye in the whole entire world that has,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's only one eye. No other civilization ever gave a crap about eyes. They never in the history of the world was an eye ever a significant part of any ancient civilization.
Oh, wait, I was wrong. It was really the eye in India.
Yeah, or the
Crap.
eye in Egypt, or the eye in South America, or the eye. Damn.
Like,
Fooled again.
if it weren't for you and you crazy kids and your gorilla.
In your eyes. Yeah, so they get there and
Can I briefly talk about?
Let's briefly talk about how at the beginning of the movie they had, in order to find this place, they had to dive underneath this water, and it was hidden behind this wall, and then at the end they just kind of stumble into it. They're just walking around and they're like, wow, look at this ruin sitting here in the middle of the jungle.
I guess we're here now.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Right past these bushes.
Yeah. Wow, it's got an eye. That's weird.
My favourite thing is, just before they get into that thing, Dylan, whatever his name is, Dylan Walsh, we're calling him. Okay.
Yeah.
His friend meets one of the monkeys, and then you don't know what happens to him. My favourite thing in the whole movie is where he runs out of the thing and legit just dies mid-run. He just drops to the floor. It's the most ridiculous death scene I've ever seen in my life.
Well, this is after the other guy that screamed himself to death.
Yeah. God.
After the secret tribe did the ritual.
Yeah, and woke him up. And then he sees Amy and screams himself to death.
Which is baffling when you see the monkey, when you see the gorillas, because I'm like, oh,
okay. that's a gorilla. The other scientist guy that just dies as he's running. I mean, to be fair, he had been through a lot up to that point. And he was probably not in the best of shape. So I could
70 minutes of Congo, I would say.
Yeah. So running down that hallway probably did him in.
Very good shape after watching it.
Yeah.
He took the easy way out.
That was so weird that even back when I remember watching it when I was young, I thought that, the gorilla throws the other person's head, right? That's what I thought. Like, for one, that scene is so weird. Like, they use this weird slow-mo kind of like overly motion blurred camera work there for some reason. I don't know why, but they did.
I think I know why.
Well, maybe.
Hold
on. Let me finish. So they do that, and I thought back then that like they show that head so quick because this is a PG-13 movie. They can't show a lot. I thought that was like his heart or something. Like that's what the gorilla threw. Like it was a piece of the guy that died, because the fact that he just died of running, even as a child, didn't work. Didn't make sense. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. That must have been like an organ or something that he threw. But no, it very clearly in 2021 it is a head.
It's
so
a head.
I still don't understand why Charlie, is that what his name was? I don't know.
Yeah.
Charlie. Why Charlie died. We'll never know why Charlie
No.
died.
Rest in peace, Charlie.
Because I don't even know.
Pieces.
I don't even know what they did with the bodies, because it was after that when they set up that camp, and like they weren't like burying anybody, or like there were no body bags, so they just leave the bodies where they landed, and then like, oh shit, we got to set up these lasers.
Yeah. The end of the movie is where it starts to get very choppy, and I feel that's like I feel that's got something to do with the tone, which seems in spots incredibly violent.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit towards the end where they're kind of trying to kill the things, and you're seeing bits of gorilla, bits of them coming off and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's all cut around. It's as cut around as it could be, but there's like kind of real gore at the end and stuff like that. But it doesn't suit a PG, like you say.
Yeah.
And probably that's got something to do with the weird slow-mo of some of it, kind of finding their ways around in the edit.
Yeah.
Trying to make it make as much sense as they possibly can.
Yeah, it does feel like a movie that was probably originally going to be R, and then they
It was
cut
too
it back.
stupid for adults.
They had to cut it back for PG-13 so it would make some money,
Yeah.
because no one's going to see this at R.
Why didn't
No.
the guns kill them? They were, I mean, they weren't mutated, really. You know, they weren't scientifically mutated.
Why did they what?
Why didn't the guns kill them?
They did.
Well,
Didn't
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's bits chunking off. There was just so many of them. That was the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a lot of them,
yeah.
and I think it may be a little. I don't know. I think a gorilla could take some bullets.
Mm.
I
That's
don't know.
another thing where the editing is chopping enough. You can't tell how many gorillas there are at any one time.
Yeah.
So I think it looks like it's the same gorilla over and over again. But it's
They
probably
didn't
about
have
the
enough
50th gorilla.
suits. They didn't have enough suits.
Yeah.
That too.
Quick, go back in.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that where Charlie dies is like, I feel like that is where it really kicks off the conclusion to this movie. That scene, and then we immediately go into the setting up the camp scene with the night gorilla attack. And like the motion sensor that is this tiny little screen that apparently shows everywhere. Like, it's just this tiny little, looks like an in gauge or something like that. And
God.
and she's like, okay, they're all gone. And it's like, well, it's not, it's a tiny little screen. They could be coming from behind you. They could be coming from the side. They could be coming, like, how do you know that they're all gone by just, maybe I'm getting a little too nitpicky on this one, but
I'd assume that's not in the book. Let's put it that way.
yeah. Well, in the book, it probably would have just been, we had a motion sensor and it said there was nothing there. They didn't actually have to show it.
No.
That's why book to movie adaptations don't work. It's because of they have to show the motion sensor, and that's where it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Mm.
So my
But no.
other question about this, going back to Amy, and
Hold on one second. Leigh,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
stop eating.
I was covering the mic and everything. God damn it.
No. All I hear is,
Look, I've got sesame cake here.
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
can
going to leave it.
stop
This
eating
podcast
the
is
sesame cake.
Blech.
This podcast is now turned into an ASMR.
Yeah. Congo the ASMR sessions.
Oh.
Amy.
Amy.
I'll push the sesame cake to one side.
Yeah. I want sesame cake on the left channel and I want
Martini on the other. Hang on, I've got Martini here.
Yeah. And I want and spread across both. I want. Did you give the gorilla the banana with the dope inside? Just repeat over and over again.
Okay. Well, back to Amy, and one of the things that has really bugged me, because how old was Amy when they picked her up from Africa? And wasn't she just a baby?
Yeah, I think so, right? I don't know.
So how realistically could Amy survive in the wild after being in captivity most of her life?
Oh yeah, no, that she would die
They
immediately.
would kill her. They would kill her.
There's no instinct there.
There would be that. I mean, that was the most. Well, aside from the fact that they weren't real gorillas, but unrealistic thing.
Yeah, no, I don't see.
Would adopt her.
Yeah, I don't see how Amy would have been able to survive even 2 seconds, even with other gorillas.
No.
No, they would have killed her because they were going to be like,
Oh, this is the weak one.
"You're a city gorilla."
Yeah.
No, we kill those.
City slicker.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that was watching this again now, it was like yeah, no, that stood out to me as like a no, this gorilla would not have been able to survive in the wild.
Hell no, they wouldn't even try.
They'd probably be afraid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Either they would just no, it just would not.
Yeah.
No.
Right. So where were we before Leigh started his
Stomping.
new Asimir endeavor? We were at the end. We talked about the ridiculous camp scene, and then we wake up the next morning and Amy's gone, right? Yeah. So where's Amy? And of course, it isn't like let's take a group and go search for the gorilla. Oh no, there were other people missing too, right? Because that's where Monroe's like humans before apes, right?
Yeah.
Right, but then not really. And then that's where they go into the temple, the mine, as it were, and the gorillas all come out. The silver gorillas all come out of their holes. Apparently, they've been living in there for thousands of years or hundreds of years.
And they only had faces that a mom could love because they were the ugliest gorillas I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I think there'd been a lot of inbreeding going on there. And it turns into like this weird, vicious, like horror movie. Like they start tearing people apart, and they start
Tim
shooting.
Curry gets his head squished, doesn't he? With a rock.
Tim Curry gets his head squished. Yep, Tim Curry dead, gone. And then everyone else pretty much except for the main three there, the Ernie and Lenny and Welsh. And miraculously, she finds the laser, and
she pries it out of her former fiance's dead cold hand.
Yep, the diamond
dead prosthetic hand.
Yeah. all this time, Monroe is kind of like holding off all of these gorillas somehow with his because he's Monroe, right? And he can do that. He's got plot armor.
Suddenly, scientist guy's adept with an Uzi.
Yep.
He's taken them all out.
And then
He
the
really
laser.
took to gunplay, didn't he?
Yeah. I was surprised he didn't go akimbo with him. And then the laser appears.
Yes.
And it just starts. She just starts cutting them in half.
Put them on the endangered species list.
Yeah. Zzz.
But I'm still not sure why you would need a diamond to power lasers.
Well, it's like
Surely
some
there's
sort
a
of
more efficient.
magnification of light, right? That's like
Use a
how
mirror.
a laser is. Listen,
That's where the whole movie falls apart, because it's like this flimmiest reason for a kind of a tech company.
listen. These are diamonds from Zinj.
Zinj diamonds,
Yeah,
of course.
Zinj. All right.
Because it's easier to go and get the diamond from the Zinj than to slightly manipulate the laser to take a diamond that you don't have to go to Zinj for.
No,
It's so much easier.
not in the 90s.
Ah, well, what was I thinking? That would mean the film would be finished in 20 minutes.
Today we're talking.
Duh.
It's all about Zinj diamonds these days.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Give her what she wants. Go to Zinj.
He went to Zinj.
That's when you know a man really cares.
Yeah, so the laser ape gorilla side, whatever you want to call it, she just
Then a volcano.
and then the
erupts.
volcano, yeah, which for in all fairness had been foreshadowed. I didn't necessarily think that it was just going to be this like river of lava that just immediately exploded into that cavern and the gorillas would just jump into it.
Like it's a day at the pool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey!
That's
I'm
another
sure
one.
I saw one do a cannonball.
Yeah, no, they did. That's another one of those things that vividly stuck out in my mind from watching this as a kid was that scene where that one clip where the gorillas literally jump in like are like, hey, and they're just and it's not even like a special effect. It's just like this burst of flame, just like and they're gone.
I'm surprised somebody didn't ADR again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh God, yeah. And then, honestly, the rest of the movie after that particular scene might as well not have happened because there's no way that you're remembering anything that happens after that ridiculous cave scene.
No. Although I want to know who carries a hot air balloon with them at all times.
Same people that carry laser grids
Yeah.
and martinis in the same in the same package.
Fair enough. Fair. Late and use diamonds for lasers.
Yeah.
Which they throw away at the end. They throw it out of the basket.
Yeah.
Something interesting. That was an actual diamond, and they threw it out of the thing. I read in the liner notes. They threw it out, but there was no one down there to catch it, so they actually lost that diamond, which is kind of dumb, I think. Like something very expensive that they just threw out of an air balloon.
That was a big diamond.
That was big.
Yeah, no, it was actual kind of something worthy, and they threw it, but there was nobody there, so it cost them a fortune in insurance out of the production.
that is like the movie encapsulated
In a nutshell.
in a diamond.
Yep.
It's like here's all of this acting talent, here's all of this production value, here's all of this stuff, here's a Michael Crichton book, and just woo right out the balloon.
Right out of the balloon.
Yeah, just throw it out.
And all they've got left at the end is hot air.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
So
hot air and burnt hair.
Yeah, yes. And broken dreams and golf clubs.
Yeah. Too bad they didn't have a fire extinguisher at the end.
And somewhere, someone's career.
Yeah.
Along with that diamond. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I did do some research on the film also.
Okay.
And money. The money aspect, speaking of money.
Yeah.
So guess how much it, well, I don't know. Did you guys look up how much it the budget was and or how much they spent?
No, I mean.
I'll guess 50.
Yeah. Maybe
Yes.
40.
I haven't looked.
Exactly.
Okay.
50 million.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that was a lot then.
it was a lot. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a lot. However, how much do you think they made?
Not 50.
Like 30. Maybe.
Oh,
Actually, I bet it was a hit. Did it actually make money?
Au contraire, yes. It made 152 million.
Wow. That Michael Crichton really pulling in, doing a lot of heavy lifting on that one.
I know. And for the year, we have the top. I will tell you what the top movie was for 1995. Batman Forever was number 1.
Yeah.
What a year.
Yeah. Apollo 13 was number 2. Toy Story, number 3.
Yeah,
Pocahontas,
95 was a
number
pretty good
4.
year.
Yeah. And then Ace Ventura was number 5, which, hello. Guess what number?
Yeah, hello.
Guess what number Congo was?
7.
I reckon right at the bottom. Where it is 10.
Nope.
Go on.
14.
Okay.
Oh, but it still made a lot of money.
Yeah, it's still a lot
It
of
did.
Was
money.
it just an initial burst and then never?
It beat Bridges of Madison County, Braveheart.
Oh, Braveheart? Wow.
Yeah, it beat that and Jumanji.
That's basically the same movie.
I know. And it beat Pulp Fiction, surprisingly. Yeah.
No, Pulp Fiction wasn't 95.
94, wasn't it? Or maybe it crossed over. Maybe it was released. And it's
Wait,
still in
I'll tell
things.
you right now. Wait.
Yeah,
That
94 because Pulp Fiction went up against Forrest Gump. I remember that
No, wait. I'll tell
as
you right now.
the
Where
big
was I?
Oscar,
Oh, wait.
the big Oscar
Was it-
catastrophe of 1994.
Yeah, October 14th, 1994.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have made money probably in
So it run for longer then, wouldn't they?
yeah.
Yeah, because it was
That's back when movies were in theaters for longer than 3 weeks
yes.
before they tried to push it out on DVD.
Yeah, which was over a year then, wasn't it? Now it's about 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's the same. Like it's the same day, pretty much, because no one's
Pretty
going to
much.
movie theaters.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting that it made that much. I figured it was a flop, but I guess it wasn't.
It was not, which surprised me after watching it.
Was there like any info about the reception at the time?
Yeah, it did not do well with the critics.
No.
No.
Oh, really?
The critics did not love it.
No.
I think-
Roger Ebert didn't fall in love with Amy.
No. I think what it was they did a better job with the trailer than they did with the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
And I've seen that before and a lot before.
Yeah,
especially in that era
that's usually the case.
where they show the best parts of the movie in the trailer and then you watch the movie and go,
Sometimes the best parts of the trailer aren't even in the movie.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. That's a good case with this though, because all the good bits when you see them in context, aren't as good as they were. But the laser grid thing looks cool. But
Yeah.
when you see it play out, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah,
in
so
the
it's
middle of
kind
the jungle.
It's like the perfect trailer movie
Yeah.
in a weird way. Yeah.
It's like, here are all these cool things that you can show on screen. And if you cut them really quick, people won't notice that none of it makes sense.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a winner, that's for sure.
Oh,
For all the wrong reasons.
it's a winner, all right. Or a wiener. I'm not sure which.
It's a wiener leech.
I still kind of think it's fun for if you take it as what it is, not what they intended, but what it is. You can still have fun with it. I mean, I'm sure we all laugh more than once at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like there's, yeah. I don't know if I laughed. I don't know if I laughed. It was more like stunned amazement.
Couple of times.
Like,
there was a few times where I was afraid I could not get my eyes back from the rolling of them.
yeah. Yeah.
Saw the bottom of your own brain for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was looking at the image I just saw burnt into my brain.
Yeah. About the penis leech that was burned into your brain.
Yeah.
Leigh is gonna have nightmares now.
The penis leech.
The penis leech.
Dun dun.
What penis leech? See, that's how it works for me.
The penis leech.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
It works every time. I just own myself. It's like Men in Black. Just zap me with a thing and it's done.
Yeah. Leigh penis leech. Leigh penis leech. All right. Is there anything else that we want to cover before we put this one to bed?
Oh no, put it to bed, please.
Okay.
Please.
Congo.
Do you feel the same way about it, Ryan, as you did in 1996? Can you still get the same sort of enjoyment from it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's a perfect, play it a million times on afternoon TV or something like that, It's one of those, like, you that may have been where I watched it, like TNT or USA or something like that. That doesn't mean too much to you, Leigh, but yeah, it's like, these basic cable channels, they get the rights to some movie like 4 years after it came out, and it's the perfect movie for that, because they can do a couple of edits here and there to make it okay for TV, and it's like the perfect length to throw in commercial breaks and fill in fill in 2 hours, right?
The sort of thing you stare at for 2 hours on a Sunday.
Yeah, or you have it on.
Don't think about it too much.
You have it on in the background while you're, burning off the penis leeches and cleaning the bathroom, All right, so that's gonna do it. Thanks everybody out there for listening. Congo, great movie. I think we did it. We chose a pretty good one for our first episode. Let us know what you think. We're always looking for feedback. And we're going to do another one whether you want it or not. And we have 3 movies to pick from. We're going to let you, the audience, decide which movie we're going to do next. So on the docket is Batman and Robin. Classic film. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, another classic film, and Predator 2. Talk about an oops, bad movie. So yeah, you let us know in the comments which one you want us to do next. We're gonna record what you guys want. And if you're in the Facebook group, you can vote there as well. We're gonna collect all of that and scientifically decide what our next movie is gonna be. So thanks, Krystin. Thanks, Leigh.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ryan Shepherd.
And actually, you know what? No, thank you, Leigh, because you're the one that chose this movie. You're the one that brought it up.
You're welcome.
Hashtag penis leeches.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to see more. Check out voxelvoice.com for all of our great content, and consider supporting us on Patreon to keep our content ad-free and independent.